Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, The Flash Batman. It doesn't have the other thing on there like the other one. I don't know what's going on with these packages. They're all over the place. This movie's confusing. It's called The Flash, but it's Batman. What's going on? Is it just that they put a bunch of Batman in The Flash to make it watchable? I don't know. But this is the Ben Affleck Batman from the movie, which I don't think is going to look anything like this figure, and if it wasn't a hassle for me to film and everything, I would have already thrown this figure in the toilet. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen, and we're going to get into it. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. I do want to take a moment to look at the back of the box, and it's the same thing as the collector cards. We'll talk about this a little bit more later, but that's generally what he's probably going to look like in the movie, if I had to guess. I know it's like a cartoony, comic-y version, but that is a really cool look for Batman. Is it a little bit over-designed? Probably. Are these weird hexagon strap things around his body very weird? Yes, but it's a cool look, and they really got a good look for Batman, like in the proportioning and whatnot, and it does resemble the Ben Affleck Batman. But then you have this, which is just some kind of disgusting thing of nightmares. It is probably one of the ugliest things I've ever reviewed, and I reviewed the newborn Xenomorph at one point. So you probably can understand what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and do a height measurement. He stands just about 18 centimeters, and that's going to make him pretty close to, we'll call it 7 1/8 inches. Here he is up against Darwin, different scales, so that's probably about right. He does have bent knees and ankles right now because I could not get him to stand up otherwise. Here he is up against the Michael Keaton Batman, significantly shorter. I am pretty sure that Ben Affleck is the tallest of the live-action Batmans, so that doesn't make any sense. Even with the knees bent, that doesn't make any sense. And he was taller also than the Christian Bale Batman, so something to consider. Okay, let's do a question of the day. Are you going to see the Flash movie? I don't think it's out. Is it out? If it is out, then have you seen it? And if it isn't out, will you see it? For me, I'm definitely waiting until I can watch it for free at home. I'm not going to go pay to see it because I just don't care. They've already told us it doesn't matter timeline. Like, as far as other movies go, it doesn't matter. And I'm really not interested in seeing a movie of Ezra Miller's Flash. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetic on this figure. It is a travesty what has happened here. If you look at the head, the sculpt is just abysmal. It looks terrible. The paint job is abysmal. It looks terrible. The cowl is incredibly gray. There are other parts of gray on the figure, which are probably too many and not the right parts, but the head is way lighter than everything else. The head and cowl looks terrible. It is a separate piece of plastic on top of the figure. Okay, and then they did a black cape that comes out from underneath, which looks terrible because there's clearly no transition at all. It looks awful, the gray to black. And then also, his shoulders are incredibly small and low, and his head obviously being too big and too high. This couldn't, like, they would have had to try really hard to make this look worse. Really, really hard. There's lots of little tiny sculpted details, so if that's what you're into, they're not painted or anything, but then you get those. But also, not even counting the cowl and cape thing, his chest with all this armor and everything is the same width as his waist. Oh, he's got little stumpy feet. They don't just look stumpy, they are stumpy, they're tiny. This figure is hideous. The proportions for Batman, look at that. Look at that. I could right now, in my very out-of-shape dad bod, could go put a costume on and look better than this. I could walk out naked and look better than this as Batman. This is hideous. Good grief. Look at the face. Let's just look at the face. That's all we really need to do. Let's look at his eyes. Those are supposed to be pupils. And scleras, the whites, the colors, the iris, everything's supposed to be there. The human eye is supposed to be there. It's not. It's not the right shape head. The mouth paint is horrible. The sculpt is, oh god, everything about this figure is bad other than the details. Like, the detail sculpt is technically clean. That's it. Aesthetically speaking, 0 out of 10. Hideous, hideous, disgusting thing. Alright, let's talk about the accessories. He comes with 2 gripping hands on him in the package. Then he comes with 2 fist hands. Pretty good spread, I guess. That's alright, right? Fist hands, I want those. Gripping hands, don't really need them. Especially since he came with no other accessories. No batarang, no grapnel gun, nothing. All you get is a DC display stand and the collector card, which is a drawing of this suit, which looks infinitely better, literally infinitely better than this pile of garbage. It's just, how? Somebody saw this and was like, yep, ship it. That's what we want. So accessory-wise, 2 out of 10, because you did get 2 fist hands. I'll give him a 2. All right, let's talk about the articulation. I have a feeling we're not going to be impressed, but let's see. Can he look up well? He can. He looks up pretty well. I'll take that. He looks down. That's fine. He rotates, and he leans. Double ball peg in action. Even on a turd like this, the double ball peg does make a good neck joint. All right, that's nice. Shoulders are on the ball pegs that shift around in the body, so that's somewhat useful. Shoulder pads, unlike this guy whose shoulder pads are appropriately sized but don't tuck under, these arms don't work. These shoulder pads and shoulders are tiny and low, and they do tuck under, so you can raise the arm up, but at the significant sacrifice of it looking like a human. So you can decide if you care about that. You do get your full rotation, bicep swivel's fine, double jointed elbow, that's all fine, plenty of range. I mean, he's a little chunky, but you can still get really good range out of that. Wrists are on ball hinges, so those are going to work fine, no issue there. Torso joint. He leans back really nicely, so that's good. He leans forward, not at all. Like, almost literally no lean forward at the top. He also has this weird, like, the belt is connected to the torso. It's a soft piece. And so is this. I'm not sure exactly how they designed this. It still feels like ball pegs inside. So the lower torso has almost no range of leaning, just a little bit side to side, and you get rotation out of both. But the torso can't go forward again, and it does go back. So that sucks. Hips. They go out to the side that far. Yeah, I can try to force it, but they don't stay. So that's as far as they go, which is probably enough. It's okay. Going forward, can't do it. The diaper's, the way it's sculpted, you can't bring the leg any farther forward. Going back, can't go any farther back. You do get a proper thigh swivel though, so I do like that. That's nice. Double jointed knees. Good proportioning on the legs. I like that. Feet are definitely small, but I could live with it. That's good. Knees are nice. Legs are proportioned well. The knees are nice except for the fact that they made them, like they put the knee pad a really big long chunk so it looks a little awkward when posing. I think this part probably should have been on the shin, but either way, that's not bad. Okay, so for the ankle, you have, all right, that's one position right there. Then you get 2, 3, 4. 4 notches, which is not good. It's very difficult to find a neutral position. This little flexible piece is nice, though. I like that. Ankle rocker, definitely going to be too heavily ratcheted. We can rotate it around for a good ankle rocker. The ankle hinge is too heavily ratcheted. And then the toe hinge is acceptable. It's not particularly good, but it's not particularly bad. Cape is not wired. It's the same cape as the other Batman, I mean, material-wise. But it looks terrible because of the way it's connected to a horrible figure. So articulation on this guy is going to get a 4 out of 10. It's not good. Torso's not good. Hips not good. Ankle's not good. Just not good. Okay, let's do a final verdict. This thing is one of the worst things I've reviewed in a long time. Like, really bad. Like, there's no reason to buy this at all. None. Just this part right here, just from what you can see above my hands, is bad enough that it's not worth owning. Guaranteed 100%, do not buy. You will be disappointed unless you're buying it ironically. So I'm going to give it a final rating of just a 0 out of 10. I can't suggest in any way anyone should buy this. It's that bad. And so there it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.